Welcome to Baker Days. This question is asked multiple times every single day on social media. How do I get reliable Wi-Fi in my caravan or motorhome? Well, I'm just going to share how we do it. It's one way. There's multiple ways, and this works very well for us, and it costs less than £100 to do. I bought this TP-Link 4G router about 4 years ago for work, long before I owned a caravan. But it works great when we're away, and I know many other caravanners who use this, and they cost about £70. I'll put links below to everything mentioned in this video. This is just like the Wi-Fi router you have at home. The difference is, instead of plugging your phone line or fibre cable in, you put a SIM card in here. These antennae are for picking up the 4G signal from the mobile phone network. These are not the Wi-Fi antennas. The Wi-Fi antenna that your devices connect to are inside the box. Up to 32 devices can connect to this at once. With some of the smaller battery-powered MiFi units, they're limited to 5 or 10 devices. But back to the SIM card. This router is not locked to a network. You can use it with whichever mobile network you prefer. It'd be a good idea to contact the caravan site you're going to and ask them which network is the strongest there. We mostly use the GIFGAF network, which uses the O2 network, but it's pay as you go. So you only pay for your data whenever you're actually away in the caravan. Depending on how many days we're going away for, we buy a bundle. For example, if we're going away for 4 nights, we would buy a 20 gigabyte bundle for about £10. This expires after 1 month or when the 20 gig is used up. Depending how many devices you have, how long you're away for, what the weather's like, you may need a bigger or smaller data bundle than what we get. We would normally have 3 smartphones, 2 tablets, maybe a laptop, smart TV and Alexa whenever we're away, and that's 5 gig per day is normally plenty. So after you register your SIM card in the usual way, you put the card in here at the back, plug it in and switch it on. On the bottom of the router you'll find the default Wi-Fi name and password, which you can change if you wish. In theory, this is plug and play, so it should just work. However, I would recommend going through the setup wizard and doing some customization. Instructions are provided with the device, and I would highly recommend going through them. Once the router is powered up and you have all the LEDs on, you can connect to the Wi-Fi on your smartphone, tablet or laptop, open a browser and go to tplinkmodem.net. This is all in the installation guide. This will bring you to a configuration interface for the router, and you can go through the setup wizard and you'll be good to go. The level of 4G signal that is being picked up by the router is shown by these bars. You can see I'm only getting 1 bar out of a maximum of 3. That's because the mobile phone signal where we live is not great, and the caravan is on our driveway between 2 houses. Also, caravans are mostly made from aluminium, which does a really good job of blocking a mobile signal. When on site, we usually get about 2 bars if we put it at the window, and it works really well. But if you want to increase your chances of getting the maximum 3 bars, and therefore better bandwidth and faster internet access, you can remove these antennas and fit an external antenna. It's very easy to remove these antennae. Just switch it off, remove the power lead, and they unscrew. Some people call these bunny ears, but I'd hate to see their pet rabbit. Now you can see the SMA connectors, which are a standard fitting for most 4G aerials. Now you can spend hundreds of pounds to have a hole drilled in the roof of your caravan and a permanent antenna installed, or you can spend £16 on one of these. This is a 4G LTE antenna. A Wi-Fi antenna will look the same and will have these SMA connectors as well, but they will not work very well. They operate on a different frequency range. You need to use a 4G LTE antenna to pick up the 4G network. There are several ways to run the cables from inside the caravan, from the router, out to the antenna. There's a 3-meter cable with this, so some people just run the cable out through a window or down through one of the floor vents. What I did is I bought a pair of SMA extension cables, male to female. Then I drilled a couple of holes in the wet locker and ran the extension cables through there. I have these dust caps to put over the connectors when they're not being used. Then I just connect the antenna leads to these connectors. Make sure the lead's running through the channel. And close the door. Now you may want to mount this on a pole, but as you can see, I attached it to some awning rail piping, which is $2.99 for a meter, and then put some wooden floor protective pads on the back to protect the side of the caravan. And then it's just a matter of sliding it along the awning rail to where you want it to be. Of course, the cables can be tidied up. But let's see how good the signal is now. So we're now back inside the caravan. The other end of the extension leads are connected to the back of the router, and you can see we have 3 full bars of 4G connectivity. As I said at the start, this is just one way to do it. There are other 4G routers and plenty of different types of antenna, but this one works for us and it doesn't cost too much. Of course, if you're away and it's not raining, get outside and leave the internet behind. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and please leave any comments and questions below and I'll try and help you out. Thanks for watching.